You are the architect of your own destiny. Every thought, every choice, every breath you take is a blueprint, a foundation stone laid in the grand design of your life. Yet, so often, we wander through the corridors of existence as if we are mere passengers on a journey planned by fate or circumstance, waiting, hoping, pleading for a sign, a miracle, a break. But the truth ancient and relentless is that no one builds your destiny but you. No one draws the lines, sets the angles, or raises the pillars of your future, except yourself. Imagine for a moment a master craftsman standing before a raw block of marble. The stone is cold, unshaped, full of unseen potential and hidden flaws. To the untrained eye, it is merely a rock, lifeless and inert. But the craftsman sees the statue within. The vision of what could be is so clear it burns in his mind's eye. With hammer and chisel, with patience and precision, he begins to carve, revealing form from formlessness. Each strike shapes, molds, defines. Each fragment that falls away is a choice, a discipline, a refusal to settle for less than the vision demands. You are that craftsman. Your life is that marble. And every day, every moment, you choose how to carve your destiny. Will you wield the tools of clarity, purpose, and discipline? Or will you leave the stone untouched, watching as time's erosion shapes it without intention or design? The modern world tempts us to believe we are victims of circumstance, prisoners to our past, subjects of external forces beyond our control. Nietzsche warned of this nihilism, the paralysis that comes when meaning is lost, when one's spirit is crushed under the weight of chaos and despair. But Nietzsche also beckoned us to become Übermenschen, creators of new values, masters of ourselves, builders of our own destiny in defiance of meaninglessness. Carl Jung teaches us that the journey inward is the essential path outward. The external chaos reflects the internal disarray. To architect your destiny, you must first construct the fortress of your mind. Psychiatry, emotional and psychic turmoil is the storm that rages within, but it is also the furnace where your soul is tempered. You cannot shape the world if you cannot first shape yourself. Mindset is the blueprint of your inner architecture. It is the conscious framework through which you interpret every experience, every challenge, every setback. Belief is the scaffolding that holds your vision. Aloft it is not mere wishful thinking, but the resolute conviction that your actions have purpose and power. Clarity carves away the distractions and illusions, exposing the raw, unyielding truth of what matters most. Without clarity, the greatest effort becomes scattered and ineffective. Vision is the architect's drawing the picture of the life you are building. Without vision, you build blindly, brick by brick, only to find your house is hollow, your foundation weak. Purpose is the cornerstone, the sacred stone set in place with intention and permanence. It anchors your vision in meaning and compels you forward when the storms rage and the world demands your surrender. Discipline is the labor that daily acts, small and large, repeated with relentless consistency. It is the chiseling of habits, the rejection of instant gratification, the embracing of delayed rewards. Discipline carves away the excess, the distractions, the lies you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. Action is the breath of life breathed into your creation. Without it, vision remains fantasy. Gratitude is the mortar that binds your foundation. It grounds you in the present while propelling you toward the future. Adaptability is the master skill to reshape the plan when unexpected forces intervene, to bend without breaking, to see obstacles as opportunities. Resilience is the unyielding spine, the capacity to rise after every fall, to learn and grow from failure rather than be consumed by it. Learning is the chiseling edge that refines your craft. No master was born without practice, without failure, without relentless study. To build your destiny is to be a perpetual student of life, absorbing knowledge, shedding illusions, and honing your skills. You are not a passive observer. You are the sculptor of your fate. The question is not whether you will face hardship, this is certain, but how you will respond. Will you flinch and retreat or stand firm, hammer in hand, shaping chaos into order? Every moment you hesitate, the marble erodes. Every day you delay, the vision blurs. The moment to build is now. Stop outsourcing your power to chance, to luck, to the approval of others. You are not waiting for permission. You are not dependent on the tides of fortune. Your destiny is not a gift, it is your creation. Look inward. Face your shadows, your fears, your doubts with unwavering courage. Know that these are not barriers, but the raw materials of your greatness. Integrate them. Let them fuel your fire. When light and darkness unite within you, you become wholened. A whole person builds with unstoppable force. This is your call to arms, to awaken from the trance of victimhood and step into the role you were born to play. To take the blueprint in your mind, the hammer in your hand, and begin carving your life into a masterpiece worthy of your soul. Because in the end, no one else will build your destiny. No one else can design the lives that only you were meant to live. You are the architect. You are the builder. And the time to start is now. You stand now at the threshold of creation, where thought meets action, where dreams bleed into reality. This is the sacred space where your destiny is forged not by happenstance, not by luck, but by deliberate, conscious design. In this space, hesitation is the enemy, and clarity is your sword. The noise of the world will beckon you to doubt, to procrastinate, to hide behind excuses. But the architect knows better. The architect knows that every moment wasted is a chisel lost, a masterpiece deferred. Remember the words of Aldous Huxley, who warned of the modern slavery of distraction, conformity, and complacency. The chains that bind you are often invisible, woven from societal expectations, fears of failure, and the seductive ease of comfort. Breaking free requires more than desire. It demands a ruthless commitment to truth, to authenticity, and to relentless self-mastery. It demands you take responsibility not just for your actions, but for your thoughts, your emotions, and your very identity. Carl Jung teaches that the unconscious mind holds the keys to transformation. The shadow, that hidden realm within, is not to be feared, but explored. To sculpt your destiny, you must descend into the depths of your psyche, face the darkness with fearless eyes, and reclaim the power buried there. The journey inward is the true path to freedom. The moment you claim ownership of your whole self is the moment the external world bends to your will. Purpose will be your compass. Purpose will guide your hand when doubt clouds your vision and exhaustion weighs heavy on your shoulders. Without it, the strongest will falter, the clearest vision blurs. But with it, every sacrifice becomes sacred, every failure a lesson, every victory a step towards something greater than yourself. As you build, you will encounter resistance external and internal. The world will challenge you, tempting you to revert to comfort, to the familiar patterns that kept you small. Your own mind will conspire to convince you that change is impossible, that your dreams are illusions. This is the crucible of resilience. This is where the architect separates from the dreamer. Resilience is not merely bouncing back, it is the art of rising stronger, more determined, more precise after every fall. It is the silent strength that propels you through storms when the horizon disappears. When others retreat, resilience says, "Not today, not on my watch." It is forged in the fire of discipline and cooled in the waters of reflection. Discipline is the relentless hammer, the daily dedication to practice and improvement. It is showing up when the body screams for rest, when motivation dwindles to a flicker. Discipline whispers, one more step, one more action, one more choice. It is the commitment to yourself that your destiny matters more than fleeting comfort. Action is the lifeblood of creation. Vision without action is fantasy. Action without vision is chaos. When aligned, they become unstoppable force. that shapes reality to your will. Take action not only with your hands, but with your mind and spirit. Each deliberate choice is a stroke against the marble of your life, revealing the masterpiece beneath. Gratitude, often overlooked, is the quiet architect of abundance. It grounds you, shifts your perspective from lack to plenty, from fear to faith. When you build from a place of gratitude, every challenge becomes an opportunity, every setback a hidden blessing. Gratitude transforms work into worship and effort into joy. Adaptability is the sculptor's flexibility. Plans will falter, circumstances will shift like sand beneath your feet. The true architect does not cling rigidly, but bends with grace, adjusting angles, reimagining forms, yet never losing sight of the ultimate vision. To adapt is not to surrender, it is to wield change as a tool, not a threat. Learning is the infinite workshop of the soul. The architect is forever a student absorbing wisdom, shedding ignorance, refining skills. Each lesson learned is a sharper chisel. Each failure a teacher's hand guiding the next strike. Commit to lifelong learning, for it is the only way to keep your creation alive, evolving, and vibrant. This is your life's work. Not a mere existence, not a passive drift, but an intentional act of creation. When you embrace this truth, you awaken the primal power within. The power to shape your future, to command your reality, to live not by chance, but by choice. You are no longer a spectator. You are a creator, a force, an architect. Build boldly, build with vision, build with heart, because your destiny is waiting and it demands your hands, your mind, your soul. Start now. Every dawn is a blank canvas. Every breath an opportunity to strike the first stroke of your masterpiece. The past, with its mistakes and regrets, is but chiseled, stone-scarred, but foundational, bearing the marks of your journey, your resilience. Do not deny it. Do not erase it. Instead, let it stand as testament to the trials you have overcome, the wisdom you have earned. As you step into the day, carry with you the unshakable knowledge that you are not subject to the whims of fate, but the master of your own making. The world around you is chaotic, unpredictable, a tempest of forces beyond control. Yet within you lies a calm, a clarity, a fire that refuses to be extinguished. Embrace discomfort as the ally of growth. The greatest architects do not shrink from difficulty. They welcome it as the necessary force that sharpens their vision and strengthens their hand. Fear will arise, it always does, but let it be the signal to move forward, not the command to retreat. Your mind is the blueprint. Your actions are the tools. Each moment you act with intention, you shape the contours of your future. Each decision is a beam laid in place, each effort a foundation deepened. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not exist. Perfection is the illusion of the uncommitted. The true architect builds through imperfection, through failure, through relentless persistence. Surround yourself with those who challenge your limits, who inspire your vision, who reflect your commitment to becoming more. Community is the scaffolding that supports your ascent. Find those who raise you higher. And in moments when solitude calls, do not fear being alone. It is in silence that the architect hears the faintest whispers of intuition, the divine blueprint within, guiding every choice, every action, every dream. Remember Nietzsche's call to become who you are, not who others want you to be, not who your fears tell you to hide behind, but the full, raw, magnificent self waiting to emerge. You carry within you the power to sculpt a destiny not dictated by circumstance, but defined by choice. This power is eternal, unwavering, and yours alone to wield. Rise, architect of your life. The marble awaits your hand. The world awaits your vision. Your destiny begins now. Begin building. As you begin to build, do not underestimate the power of each small choice. Each seemingly insignificant decision, each moment where you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over procrastination, truth over convenience, size, a block in the foundation of your future. The smallest action taken with intention can shift the course of your entire life. This is how the architect works, not in grand gestures alone, but in the quiet, daily commitments to the vision they hold. The path you choose to walk will not be easy. There will be days when the weight of the work feels overwhelming, when doubt clouds your vision, and when the effort seems endless. But understand this. It is precisely in those moments that the true architect reveals their strength. It is in the dark, the quiet, the struggle that you are forged. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to test your resolve, to refine your focus, to prove to yourself that you are the one who will not be deterred. Do not listen to those who tell you that success is quick or easy. Do not be deceived by the lies of instant gratification. The most lasting creations are not those built on fleeting trends or momentary impulses, but those crafted with time, effort, and unwavering faith in the vision. Your destiny will unfold not in bursts of inspiration, but in steady, deliberate action taken every single day. Carl Jung understood the importance of embracing both the light and the shadow, the known and the unknown. As you build your destiny, you will confront both. The light of clarity and purpose will guide you, but the shadow of doubt, fear, and insecurity will follow you too. Accept them both. The light gives you direction, the shadow gives you depth. Together, they allow you to become fully integrated, whole, and unstoppable. As you carve your path forward, remember that you are not only building for today, you are creating a legacy, a structure that will stand the test of time. Every decision you make today, every habit you cultivate, every challenge you overcome, is a part of something much larger than yourself. Your actions ripple outward, touching the lives of those around you, shaping the world in ways you may never fully understand. But trust that every brick you lay today will create a future you can be proud of. In times of struggle, when the world seems to press in from all sides, turn inward. Find your center. It is there, within, that your strength lies. You have everything you need to keep moving forward. Trust the process. Trust the work. Trust yourself. And when the walls feel too high, when the days feel too long, remember this. You are the architect of your own destiny. This power is yours, and yours alone. No one can build your future but you. And with each decision, with each moment of effort, with each act of courage, you are closer to the life you are meant to create. The blueprint is already in your hands. Now all that remains is for you to take the next step, and the next, and the next. Keep chiseling, keep building, keep striving. Your destiny awaits, and it is yours to create. You are unstoppable. You are the architect. And this is just the beginning. You have felt it, the stirring deep within, the restless fire that refuses to be contained by fear or doubt. That fire is your truth calling out, demanding to be heard, demanding to be lived. It is the pulse of your authentic self, the rhythm of your soul's deepest desire. To ignore it is to live half-lived, to betray the sacred gift of your existence. Know this. The world will resist your rise. It will whisper lies, sow seeds of uncertainty, and attempt to tether you to its limited visions. But the architect is not swayed by the chorus of the crowd. The architect listens to the silence within, where the blueprint of greatness resides untouched, pure and waiting. Every great creation begins with a single act of courage, the courage to envision what does not yet exist. The courage to dismantle old beliefs, to tear down worn-out patterns, to clear the debris of complacency. The courage to build, not just for survival, but for transcendence. In this moment, decide. Will you be the passive observer of your life story, or will you seize the pen and write boldly? Will you wait for the winds of fate, Or will you raise your sails and navigate toward the horizon you choose? Your destiny is not a distant dream. It is the present reality you forge with every thought, word, and deed. When you claim this truth, you awaken a force beyond measure, a force that moves mountains, breaks chains, and transforms shadows into light. This force is you. Rise now. Build with intention. Create with passion. Live with purpose. Because the life you dream of is not waiting somewhere ahead. It is waiting for you to bring it into being here, now. You are the architect of your own destiny. Start building. Every moment you hesitate, every second you allow doubt to creep in, you give away power that was always yours to claim. But now is the time to reclaim it. Now is the time to stop waiting for permission, for the perfect moment, for some external sign. The perfect moment is a myth. The only moment that exists is this one, the one you hold in your hands like the first brick of a new foundation. Remember, the greatest structures were never built by those who waited for certainty. They were built by those who embraced uncertainty, who thrived in the chaos of creation, who trusted the process even when the outcome was unknown. You are that creator. You are the pioneer, walking through uncharted territory, carving a path where none existed before. Let the whispers of fear and doubt become the soundtrack to your defiance. Let every "you can't" fuel a deeper "I will." Your resilience is your blueprint. Your discipline is the chisel that shapes your future. Your vision is the light that guides you through the darkness. And when the storms come in, they will stand firm. The architect does not crumble beneath the weight of adversity. Instead, adversity sharpens the edges, polishes the surface, and strengthens the core. You are not fragile. You are forged. Look ahead. See the life you desire not as a distant fantasy, but as a tangible possibility born from your hands, your mind, your soul. This life is yours to claim. No one else can build it for you. No one else can design it better. So rise, step forward, take the tools, you have your courage, your vision, your unbreakable will, and begin the masterpiece that is your life. Because you are not here to be ordinary. You are here to be extraordinary. You are the architect of your own destiny. Start building now. This is your momentum moment to rise, to claim, to build. No longer a dream deferred, no longer a life half-lived, but a destiny crafted by your own hands, shaped by your own will, and fueled by your unwavering belief in yourself. Know this truth deep in your bones. You carry within you the power to transform, to create, to become the architect not just of your destiny, but of a legacy that will echo beyond your years. Step into your power. Embrace your vision. Take up your tools with fierce determination and relentless passion, because the world is waiting not for perfection, but for authenticity. Not for hesitation, but for bold action. Not for comfort, but for courage. Build with heart, build with fire, build with every ounce of your being. You are whole, you are capable, you are unstoppable. And your destiny, your magnificent, unfolding destiny, starts here, starts now, and starts with you. Go forth and build the life only you can create. Because you are the architect of your own destiny. Start building. The family you were born into is not the family you were meant to have, but they gave you a story that you carried into adulthood. They handed you a set of scripts, words, and actions. Some of them were kind, some of them were harsh, but all of them were inscribed in the deepest corners of your soul. You didn't ask for them, you didn't choose them, but they became your truth. And they became the filter through which you see the world today. You can run away. You can build a life that's far removed from those early days. You can change your name, your friends, your job, even your city. But no matter how much you try to distance yourself from them, their echoes will remain. The wounds from family are the deepest to hide because they are the first wounds you ever experienced, and they are the ones that follow you into every corner of your life. The truth is, you don't realize how much of your pain Your frustrations, your failures, your fears are bound up in those early relationships. But as you grow, and as you confront your own humanity, you will come to understand that your greatest battle isn't with the world out there, it's with the world that was created in your home by the very people who were supposed to love you unconditionally. We all start out in the same place, the womb of our family. But what happens in that space? How many of us emerge whole? Or are we marked, scarred, altered by the subtle and not so subtle forces at work in our homes? Carl Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, the part of the psyche that holds the memories and experiences of all of humanity. But what happens when the unconscious of one family seeps into the unconscious of the individual? What happens when the invisible threads of their beliefs, fears, and actions tie themselves around your spirit? From the very first moments of life, you begin to learn. You learn how to exist within the boundaries set by your family. You learn how to love and how to be loved by them, even if that love comes at a cost. And that cost, more often than not, is the fragmentation of your true self. You were given a role to play, the quiet one, the rebellious one, the pleasing one, the one who always holds things together. And you wore that role like a suit of armor, but underneath it, your raw soul, your essence was screaming for liberation. But no one told you that freedom was possible. They told you what love was supposed to look like, what success was supposed to be, what happiness was supposed to feel like. They didn't ask you what you needed. They didn't ask you what your soul was craving. Instead, they stitched a mask to your face and told you to wear it for the rest of your life. And so you wore it. You became it. You became the version of yourself they wanted you to be, not the one that was destined to exist in this world. And somewhere, deep within, your true self, your untainted self, began to wither. But you couldn't see it. You couldn't even hear it. All you heard was their voice, their opinions, their rules. You learned that love came with strings attached, that peace was earned, that your worth depended on your ability to meet their expectations. And as you grew older, you realized that the person you had become was an illusion designed to keep you safe, an illusion designed to make them proud. But that illusion, those false versions of who you were, never brought you peace. They never brought you happiness. They never brought you the fulfillment you sought. Because peace, true peace, doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't come from appeasing those who love you, but from appeasing the most important person in your life, the one staring back at you in the mirror. There comes a time in every person's life when they must confront the truth. Who am I really? Beyond the mask, beyond the expectations, beyond the role I've been asked to play, who am I at my core? But to answer that question, you first have to break free from the script, the one that was handed to you at birth, the one that says you must be this or you must not be that. And the only way to break free is to face the wounds, to open the wounds you've kept buried and let the light in. Because those wounds, they are your healing. They are the raw material for your transformation. The moment you stop hiding from them, the moment you stop pretending they don't exist, is the moment your soul starts to heal. You are not what they told you to be. You are not their narrative. You are the story you choose to write, the story of your own becoming. But in order to do that, you must learn to see your family for what they are: not perfect, not infallible, not omniscient. They are human, just like you. They are shaped by their wounds, by their experiences, by the roles they were forced to play in their own families. They did the best they could, but their best was often distorted by their own fears and unresolved pain. This is the part that is hardest to accept. They were hurt too, and in their hurt, they passed down their pain to you. But now, you have the power to stop the cycle. You have the power to heal. And healing begins when you recognize that their pain is not your burden to carry. There's no need to forgive them for their imperfections. There's no need to make excuses for their actions. But there is the need to release them. Release them from the chains you've allowed them to wrap around your spirit, because you've carried those chains for too long, and it's time to put them down. It's time to shed the role you've been playing in their narrative and take up the pen to write your own. And here's the thing about healing. It's not linear. It's not pretty. It's messy. But it is also the most powerful and liberating thing you will ever experience. Because healing is not about erasing the past. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's about integrating the past into the person you are today. It's about making peace with the past so it no longer controls your future. So, here you stand, at the edge of your own soul's liberation. You have a choice: to stay in the comfort of the illusions you've created, or to step into the fire of your own truth. And yes, the fire will burn, it will hurt. But the truth is that the fire doesn't destroy you, it purifies you. It transforms you into the person you were always meant to be. Stronger, wiser, freer. The wounds from your family are the deepest to hide, but they are also the ones that will set you free. Because when you stop hiding from them, when you stop pretending they don't exist, you will realize the one thing that no one ever told you. You are whole. You were always whole. You just had to remember. And that's the true power of healing. Not to erase, not to forget, but to finally become whole again. To step into your power, your truth, your purpose. And when you do, you will no longer be bound by the wounds of your past. You will no longer be a prisoner of your family's narrative. You will be free. Free to live the life you were always meant to live. Free to write your own story. And that, my friend, is the greatest freedom of all. So, let's talk about what happens when you finally choose to face those wounds. When you choose to acknowledge the parts of you that have been hidden, buried deep in the corners of your psyche. Those parts that were covered up with years of distractions, achievements, and masks designed to keep the world from seeing the rawness of your truth. What happens when you stop running? When you face your fears, your shame, your anger, and your sorrow, the very things you've been avoiding for so long, you begin to understand something profound about the nature of human existence. You see, these wounds, the ones you carried with you since childhood, the ones your family unwittingly passed down to you, they are not your enemies. They are not weaknesses. They are the raw material from which your true self is forged. The very act of acknowledging them transforms them. The greatest strength lies not in the absence of pain, but in the courage to face it. What you once believed were your weaknesses, the moments of hurt, the doubts, the struggles, are actually the seeds of your deepest transformation. And when you allow yourself to finally confront them, when you take the power away from the shame that you've attached to those memories, you begin to see them in a new light. You realize that those experiences weren't meant to break you, they were meant to shape you. But here's the thing. You can only do this if you let go of the need for perfection. The need to be loved, the need to be accepted, the need to be validated by anyone, least of all the people who shaped your very identity. The road to true freedom lies not in living up to their expectations, but in releasing the grip their approval has on you. Because the truth is this: you don't need them anymore. The moment you realize that your worth was never tied to their approval, that their love, no matter how well-intentioned, was conditional, you break free from the prison of their expectations. And for the first time, you step into your own light, your own truth. You are no longer a character in their story. You are the author of your own life. Now, this doesn't mean you cut ties with your family. No. It means you release them from the power they've had over you. It means you forgive not for them, but for you. Because forgiveness is not about them. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of the past so you can step forward into your future with the strength and clarity that only comes when you've let go of the chains that bound you. When you release your family from the expectation that they must be perfect, you set yourself free. When you stop holding onto resentment, you make space for love. When you stop living for their approval, you start living for your own truth. And in that release, in that deep spiritual letting go, you will find the greatest gift of all, freedom. But freedom isn't just about releasing the past. It's also about embracing the future, the version of yourself that you've long forgotten, buried under years of other people's narratives. Your future is not written by the actions of your parents or your childhood. It's written by your willingness to become who you were always meant to be. This is the moment where the power truly shifts. You've walked the path of pain, and now you stand on the precipice of your own evolution. This is where you get to rewrite your story. You can decide who you are, where you go, and what you leave behind. The family that shaped you, they were simply the first chapter. And now you have the power to write the rest of your book. You get to decide what's next. You get to choose what parts of your family's story stay with you and what parts you leave behind. You can choose to carry the love, the wisdom, the strength they offered. But you can also choose to leave behind the fear, the guilt, and the limiting beliefs that were handed down to you. Your family is not your prison. Their story is not your destiny. You are free to create the life you deserve. And it begins with the decision to finally take ownership of your own journey, to no longer be tethered to the wounds of the past, to no longer be haunted by what was done to you, to no longer live in the shadow of your family's mistakes or regrets. But here's the thing. This isn't easy. None of it is easy. Transformation never is. The path to freedom requires strength. It requires resilience. It requires the courage to face your deepest fears, your darkest moments, and to rise above them. You will have moments of doubt. You will have moments when the past calls to you, urging you to return to what is familiar. But you have the power to stand firm. You have the power to choose differently. And it's in those moments of choice, the moments when you are tested, that your true power is revealed. You are no longer the child that needed validation. You are no longer the person who sought approval. You are no longer the person defined by your family's wounds. You are your own person, and you have the power to shape your future with every decision you make. So, now you stand at a crossroads. The old you, the one defined by your family's expectations, is fading. And the new you, the person you were always meant to be, is rising. Who will you become? Will you continue to carry the wounds of the past, or will you rise above them? Will you continue to let the pain of your family's mistakes control your future, or will you step into your own greatness, your own power? The choice is yours, and with it comes the most profound opportunity you'll ever have, the chance to live a life that is truly yours. When you finally let go of what no longer serves you, when you choose to embrace the fullness of who you are, you will see the world in a new light. You will see possibilities instead of limitations. You will see opportunity instead of obstacles. And you will finally understand that the wounds from family, those deepest, most painful wounds are not your curse. They are your catalyst. Your freedom lies in them. Your power lies in them. Because when you heal those wounds, when you integrate them into your soul, you will emerge as someone who is whole, someone who is unstoppable. And from that place of wholeness, you will create the life you were always meant to live. This is your time. Step forward, embrace your power, let the past fall away and become the person you were born to be. And in doing so, you will finally break the cycle that has kept you bound and unlock the life you've always deserved. Your soul is calling. The time is now. You are free. And now, let's talk about what freedom really means. Freedom is not simply the absence of chains, the absence of external control or oppression. It is the ability to own your story, to walk the path that resonates with your soul. Freedom is not about escaping the past, but about transcending it. It's about taking all that you've learned, the wounds you've carried, and using them as fuel to create something beautiful, something entirely your own. You may have been told over and over, that your value is dependent on what others think of you. Your family, society, the people you love, they told you who you should be, who you could be. But the truth is, you never needed permission. Not from them, not from anyone. You've had everything you need within you all along. You are the creator of your destiny. But this is where the challenge lies. The challenge is belief. Belief in yourself. Belief that you are worthy of the freedom you desire. You see, for so long, you may have measured your worth through the lens of your family's love, approval, and validation. And when that validation was withheld or conditional, your soul felt the absence. It felt hollow. It felt incomplete. But now you have an opportunity, a precious opportunity, to reclaim that validation, to give it to yourself. You don't need it from anyone else anymore. And that is the ultimate freedom. The freedom to step into your own light, to look in the mirror and see the reflection of a person who is no longer defined by the limitations of their past. You are not the hurt child. You are not the silent observer. You are not the one who must shrink to fit into someone else's world. You are the architect of your own reality. And with this realization comes the burden of responsibility. Responsibility to yourself, not to your parents, not to society, but to the person you are becoming, the person you are meant to be. You no longer have the luxury of hiding behind the mask, behind the story they wrote for you. You are now tasked with rewriting that story, and it starts with your willingness to take full responsibility for your life. Do you have the courage? Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward in spite of it. It's the ability to look at the broken pieces of your past and say, I am stronger than this. I am more than these wounds. I am more than what was done to me. You have the power to rewrite the narrative that was thrust upon you. Every step you take, every decision you make can now be a step toward freedom. You are free to decide who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going. But remember, freedom is not an event. It's a process, a journey. It's an ongoing act of choosing. Every day you must choose to step into your own light. Every day you must choose to confront your fears, to confront your shadows, and to step forward anyway. Every day you must choose yourself over the story that was handed to you. Do you see it? The power is already within you. It has always been. It's not about being perfect. It's not about living up to some external standard. It's about embracing your wholeness, your humanity, your imperfection, and knowing that you are still worthy of every dream, every hope, and every possibility that lies ahead. The most painful part of this journey is realizing just how much you've given away. You've given away your sense of self. You've given away your voice. You've given away your dreams in exchange for acceptance, for love, for the approval of others. But now you can take it all back. It's not gone forever. It's simply waiting for you to claim it. All of it. Your power, your truth, your sovereignty. And in doing so, you become a force of transformation, not just for yourself, but for everyone you touch. Because here's the beautiful paradox of life. When you heal yourself, when you rise above your past, you create a ripple effect. Your healing touches others. Your courage gives others the strength to find their own. And in that, you are not just healing yourself, you are healing the world around you. This is the truth. This is the transformation you've been waiting for. Not an external event, not a sudden shift, but a slow, deliberate, and steady rebirth of your spirit. A rebirth that comes when you finally stop pretending. A rebirth that comes when you look into the mirror and no longer see the brokenness of your past, but the wholeness of your being. So, step forward. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need permission from anyone to be who you truly are. The approval you seek is already within you. The validation you crave is already in your soul. It was never outside of you. It's always been there, waiting for you to awaken to it. The world is yours to shape. The life you dream of is within your reach. But only if you dare to step into the unknown. Only if you dare to walk away from the comfort of the mask, from the stories that were written for you, and embrace the person you are becoming. You are more than the wounds that were inflicted upon you. You are more than the roles you were made to play. You are the author of your own fate. Your past no longer dictates your future. Your family's history is no longer your burden to carry. You are free to write the life you want, the life you deserve. And when you stand in that truth, when you stand in the fullness of who you are, you will understand that the deepest wounds, the ones that hurt the most, were never the ones that broke you. They were the ones that made you stronger. The wounds from family are deep, yes, but they are not your prison. They are the door to your freedom. And on the other side of that door is the person you are always meant to be. So step through it. Step into your power, step into your truth, and step into the life you are always meant to live. The time is now. The world awaits the person you were always meant to become. You are free. And this is the moment you stand before the door of your own self, no longer the door of your past, no longer the door of stories that were written for you. This is the time when you realize that you no longer have to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You no longer have to live according to a script that was handed to you. You are the one writing your own story. That is the truth you have been seeking all along. That is the liberation you deserve. And it doesn't come from avoiding. It doesn't come from running from the wounds of your past. True freedom comes when you face it, when you embrace your flaws, when you allow yourself to heal and transform. So, don't let your old wounds scare you. Don't let them imprison you in a world that has long since passed. Look at them with strength, not to run away, but to turn them into power. Power to become the person you were always meant to be, to stand tall in this life without the fear of being knocked down. True freedom is when you no longer live by others' expectations, when you are no longer bound by the past, when you no longer strive to please others in order to feel worthy. True freedom is when you dare to love yourself in all your truth, the beautiful parts and the painful ones. So, step outside your comfort zone. Let the past be just a part of a story that has already been written. You will never truly live in the future if you still cling to what cannot be changed. Only when you let go of old burdens can you step into the world with the wings of freedom. And when you do that, you will realize that this life is yours. You will see new paths, new opportunities unfolding before your eyes. You will see a life full of potential, a life no longer bound by the past, not limited by what others have done to you. This is the opportunity for your rebirth, for a fresh start. Don't let anything stop you. You have everything you need. The courage, the persistence, the understanding, it is all within you. Step into the life you truly deserve. Because when you do, not only will you change your own life, but you will make an unimaginable impact on the world around you. You will not only heal yourself, but you will heal everyone you love, everyone you encounter on this journey. This is your time. This is the moment. You become the person you've always dreamed of being. This is your moment, because you are ready.